money, 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 money. If you haven't any coal in the stove and you freeze in the winter and you curse to the wind at your face, when you haven't any shoes on your feet and you
Republicans really ruin the ability for everyone, but specifically men, to signal their political views through their stylistic choices. Republicans realized that everybody fucking hates them, and they could recognize they were Republicans because they dressed like shit, and now they kind of dress like leftists too. Do I need to go all out? Like, do I need to do used copy of Mother Night in my back pocket? Do I need like the fucking Very Hungry Caterpillar tote bag? Like, what do I need to do here?
Okay, before I answer this question, because there is actually an answer to this question, I want you to ask yourself, why do you want to signal that you're not somebody with right-wing views, whether you call yourself a leftist, a progressive, even, dare I say, a liberal? Like somebody who is like left of center, especially if you are more inclined towards leftism. If you want to read, Karl Marx, in addition to your Vonnegut, which like, look, Vonnegut, top choice. I do like A Little Mother Night in the back pocket, but like, what does a book in your back pocket, a tote bag, a symbolically beaded bracelet, any of these fashion signifiers really intended to mean, mark you as a safe person for somebody else? You're just trying to signal essentially that you care about human rights, right? Like, you want to signal to other people that you're somebody that sees them as a person, right? Like that's the idea. You also probably want to signal that you like value them as somebody that you share this planet with, that you care about what happens to them. So if all of those are the values that you're trying to signal, what singular piece, regardless of your gender, frankly, could you wear that signals all of that? Here's the answer. A mask. A respirator, specifically. The mask is the thing you are looking for. It is form and function. It literally does the thing that you want it to do. You want to make the point that you are a safe person who cares about others. This literally does that. It not only says it, it does it. Just the act of wearing it, you will communicate that you value somebody enough to make the air that you share a little more safe for both of you. Masks come in a lot of different sizes, different colors. You can even decorate them with jewelry. But regardless of how you choose to do it, the act of doing it does the thing you want to achieve. It not only communicates your political beliefs by a symbol, it also effectively creates them in praxis by cleaning the air you share. With fewer and fewer safety nets in the US anymore, it is all the more important to preserve the health that you and your community has now. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, so your choice to wear a mask is far more than just one based in fashion.
I've never felt unsafe around a trans woman, ever. My womanhood has never felt threatened by a trans woman, ever. And if your womanhood has, I think that speaks more to the fragility of your womanhood than anything about trans women. Because quite honestly, how pathetic to target one of the most oppressed groups in our society. Honestly, loser behavior. And for all those people who say they care about women's sports and women's safety, where are you petitioning for more funding for women's sports? Where are you petitioning for better legislation to persecute sexual assault against women? Overwhelming majority of which is committed by cis men. You don't care about women. You just want to target those that are already oppressed. Loser behavior.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been legit. If I was you, I would cut up my wrist. So tatted all over her body, oh. She just wanna roll and I don't mind it.
Headdress because I'm going to like an Indian vibe. Now I could talk at length of the historical significance of wearing a headdress in Native American cultures. However, I think it's important for me to take this time to say you look chopped. I say this almost out of a place of empathy because it seems like there's no one in your life to tell you this. Posting on your public account that James Charles doesn't want to hang out with you. Make it worse, we both know that your outfit is ugly. You created this outfit specifically for rage bait because your personality is probably not interesting enough. Bringing us back to not having friends. Almost laughable because we both know you're being racist and we both know you look bad. You simply don't have enough self-respect to fix it. Finally, as somebody with a distinctly Indian vibe, your vibe could never be Indian for many reasons, primarily being that you're a loser, but also because you're missing blueprint energy. Because at the end of the day, there's endless racist bitches that look exactly like you, that act like you. And I almost pity you all because I'm exactly what you all want to be. But at a certain level, pathetic people just piss me off. Mwah.
You've taken our land, killed our people. What more can you take from us? Do you not realize we are also human? Just because we maybe look different, have different features and traditions, doesn't mean we don't have lives and generations to pass down as well. Our culture, our land. How can you do all wrong and not feel regret or guilt? We just want these. I am not your Pocahontas. I am Matoaka from the Powhatan tribe, and I stand with my people.
Miss, you forgot something.
Thank you.
Cause one day when we're older, will we still look up and wonder? Someday when we're wiser, will our hearts still have that fire?
Savannah, why do you make everything about race? Like, why are you always talking about race? Like, not everything is about race. Everything is about race! It is! Everything is! Every single part of our society traces back to racism. Everything. The damn ice cream truck song is fucking racist. The reason we have credit scores and student loans is because they did not want black people to live next to them and go to school. Everything is encapsulated in the fact that they wanted black people to fail. Our society could be so much more progressive than it is now. Spent 400 years trying to keep minorities down, that we have not progressed in technology, in society, in anything. This country has spent so much time making sure that we don't surpass white people, that it's willing to cut its leg off during the sack race over and over and over and over again. And that's why we're in the fucking predicament that we're in now. It's not about anything else but the fact that they do not want minorities to thrive. That is what it's been about since day fucking one, when they got to this fucking land. They took it away from people who were already here and didn't stop doing it. I understand that sometimes we want to ha-ha hee-hee and live life and forget, but I'm always going to bring it up. If you don't want to hear it, don't talk to me, but I'm always going to talk about racism because it makes me fucking angry. You don't get to spend 400 plus years mistreating people based off of their skin tone alone. It caused ripples in generations. You haven't even began to try to undo it. But you want to get mad at me because every time I talk about racism, you get annoyed. Because every time I bring up something, oh, it's because this, it's because of racism, you get mad. Shut the fuck up.
Fimo, how'd you get so pregnant?
Hey Finn, I need you to strangle some pixies.
Yeah, sure. How long have you had this house?
Yes, that is true.
You're a sociopath.
I think we should get a...
What? Broken leg.
My parents always told me that simple possessions aren't the most important things in life.
Word on mouth.
Then it hit some lady's baby in the face and it started crying.
And I really enjoy the taste of envelopes.
Amazon juice box! Amazon juice!
I don't have time to explain the psychology of humor to you. Stop right there! What? Marceline's gonna rap for me?
Yep.
Chips, chips, chips.
Ice cream, ice cream.
I wish to blow up. I mean, like, get big.
Making sure my TikTok passes the Bechdel test.
Action.
Hi Mary. Hi Jane. The weather is nice today. Yeah, it's alright.
Hotter than the blue is fine, hotter than the blue is fine. Never get you out my mind, never get you out my brain.
Black people can't marry white people.
Hey now.
It's Garnet from Steven Universe.
Kids, don't be racist.
Okay, the tape is a little hard to hear, but if you listen closely, you can just make out what the president is saying as he enters the Oval Office today with the president of El Salvador.
Criminals next. Yeah. I said homegrowns are next. The homegrowns built. You got to build about 5 more places. Yeah, that's big. All right.
Laughter all around. That was Donald Trump today talking to the president of El Salvador, a man who calls himself the world's coolest dictator. And you could hear there what sounded like Trump promising that he's about to send to a prison in El Salvador the, quote, homegrowns, meaning U.S. citizens. He says homegrowns are next. You're going to need to build about 5 new places. The Trump administration has flown hundreds of non-U.S. citizens to this foreign prison in El Salvador already, including 10 more that they flew there this weekend. Even though the U.S. government has sent these people to this prison, the Trump administration says they have no protection under U.S. law there, that this facility doesn't answer to U.S. courts. The people sent there are just gone. They're sent into that prison maybe forever with no way to be heard, no way to contest whatever the designation was that got the U.S. government to send them there. Certainly no way to get out, ever. Are homegrowns really next? Would the American president send American citizens to indefinite, totally lawless, apparently permanent imprisonment in El Salvador as well? Is he open to that? Apparently, yes, he is.
If it's a homegrown criminal, I have no problem. Now, we're studying the laws right now. Pam is studying. If we can do that, that's good. And
if we can do that, that's good. Pam, meaning Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. So he wants to send American citizens to foreign prisons where U.S. legal protections don't apply at all, where people can be held for the rest of their lives without ever having a day in court or any sort of process. He says Attorney General Pam Bondi is, quote, studying the laws right now to see if he really could do it because he'd love to do it. It was only last week on Thursday when the Supreme Court ruled unanimously 9-0 in favor of a man named Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He's a legal resident. He's a Maryland father. The Trump administration admits they sent him to that prison in El Salvador by mistake. The Supreme Court effectively ordered the Trump administration to facilitate this man's return to the U.S. from that El Salvadoran prison without explicitly defining what that would look like. The Trump administration has insisted that they can't return him, and they don't intend to. They said that the man's fate is up to the president of El Salvador for some reason. Today in the Oval Office, it was a reporter who finally asked El Salvador's president if he would please return this man to the United States. The El Salvadoran president called the question, quote, preposterous. Of course he wouldn't. So we have here a constitutional nightmare, a legal nightmare, obviously a moral nightmare.
You didn't hear it from me, but some very concerning photos of that El Salvador prison have been floating around the internet now, and I'm going to show you why I think we should stop calling it a prison. Because if you ask me, the photos of it circling the internet right now look very much so more like something associated with the Mustache Man than a regular prison. And I'm going to do the best of my ability to show you these photographs, but unfortunately I will have to censor some of them. Now there's a few important notes to make here about this prison that they've been accidentally sending innocent people to. And maybe at top of the list, the reported maximum capacity of this prison is 40,000 people. In 2024, before we even started sending people over there, they reportedly had 110,000 inmates. It's far more than capacity. They continue to send people there somehow, and the whole point of it is that people aren't really ever supposed to leave. If people aren't being released, then how is there more space opening up? Well, when you look at this photo of it on Google Earth, and you have to use the coordinates because it's no longer listed, the first thing I noticed, besides the reported double electric fences and concrete wall meant to keep people in, is the fact that they've removed all forest and vegetation around it. It's a very similar image to what you would see the mustache man use for his prisons, so that anyone who even did manage to escape could be easily spotted. But that's not the strangest part that's trending on the internet right now. If you zoom into this little oddly shaped building that doesn't seem to match the rest of the buildings on the lot, you'll see some discoloration on the ground that is the color red. And a mound of something that I have blurred out so that this video can stay up, that people are speculating looks like a pile of something. Now, we don't know what that substance is, and it's probably cherry Kool-Aid because obviously they were having a party. But it does make two things suspicious. How does this prison that's always at max capacity keep taking people in, but we never see people leave? And why did both the president of El Salvador and Donnie report that they can't get that innocent man back? Where did they send him where they couldn't get him back?